This cake is a replica of the McPherson steamer that the cake place at Avon, and we are currently at Deer Run Winery. The McPherson steamboat was built by Colonel James McPherson from Avon. In 1982, he commissioned Kingston from Rochester, a boat builder, and they built it in Lakeville. They started building it in November. They built it through the winter, and they launched it in May 1883, and Miss Hattie Nisbet of Avon christened it. Its first initial trips were in July of 1883. Originally it had 2 decks, and they put a 3rd deck on. It was to hold 1,000 people, but at one point, a couple times when they were rushing the people to get the excursionists back to get the Lakeville train, it was 1,400 people. They used to clear the decks in the back, and they would have orchestras, and they used to do moonlight excursions on the lake at night.
It was a steam-powered boat, and for a boat that's steam-powered back at that time, it was unique in that it never had any serious accidents. It ran for close to 20 years, and they basically had one valve leak in that 20 years. And if you look into the history of steamboats, they had a lot of bad accidents associated with boilers, especially boilers exploding and stuff. And the McPherson basically ran without any problems for 20 years. So it's quite the boat. And no matter how you look at it, it's quite the boat. But something that large, it's really hard to envision it, to look at the lake today. But I tell people all the time, we would love to see, I would ride on that in an instant if they were back on the lake again.
It was 120 feet long, 22 feet wide, and from the water it stood 30 feet.
30 feet out of the water, and it had a steam engine that produced 100 horsepower. And two years ago, they recovered the propeller from that steamboat.
Kenny Sharp,
and Livonia has now located it at Vitale Park. As you start to enter into the park, you will see the actual propeller that was on that boat. And now it's how many years later? So if you have an opportunity, it's worth it to stop and see it.
In 1895, there was a one-legged guy that dove from the top of a pilot house. Yeah, that was for a cycler excursion. Like I said, they used to clear the decks, and they had moonlight excursions on the water. There was a group of 4 fiddlers, I believe Milliman, and a guard was 2 of them, and they were called the Bullfrog Band from Lakeville. They did regular on this.
The McPherson is just a small piece of the history that we discovered on Geneseo Lake. And our display and what we put up here, it just scratches the surface of what we've come to find. So much activity and so many interesting things that have happened or connected with Geneseo Lake. And it just keeps fueling your interest to go even further and finding out even more about the people that were here, the things that happened here, unique things in history that happened here. Just amazing situation that we have here on Geneseo Lake.
It burnt in Lakeville, the same location where it was built in December 6, 1902. They had fired it up, and to prevent it from damage from the ice, they ran it aground. The stern was in the water, and the captain went, and from I think his cottage was Pebble Beach area. They watched it aflame, and of course it was too late, so it burned to the water line. And then they pushed it in the water, and that's how the propeller, and that's how they pulled it out. Awesome boat.
Is there anything else you want to highlight at all, or I think
in 1902, when this was burnt, the following year they didn't have any big excursion boat. But in 1904, Walter Stroger had the Geneseo excursion boat built. And that was on Geneseo Lake from 1904 to 1914. Deer Run Winery is going to be launching a new wine in July called the Geneseo Red after the Geneseo excursion boat.